Hey guys, welcome back to more political chatter. Sorry, 1 second. Just get my microphone situated. Anyway, so this 2024 election prediction is between Denver Leverett, the cop from Jefferson County, Indiana, in southern Indiana, versus Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is the extremely unpopular U.S. representative from the state of Georgia, coming from a very conservative district. But before we get this video started, make sure to comment political chatterbug below. Anyone who comments that will get a heart, but more importantly, at the end of the week, I will give you a shout out at the end of the week. I will start doing that for every video. So let's go through this prediction. Denver Leverett is a very pro-police cop, but Marjorie Taylor Greene has said some say many racist things, but she's really, anti-Black Lives Matter, pro-QAnon, all that. So really, African Americans, really minorities, I would say, in this country don't really have a choice. Don't really have a good choice that represents them very much. So really what I want, this was fan requested prediction from Star Years. Thank you for your prediction or suggestions. If you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments, whoever you may be. But anyway, to answer your question, Star Years, you said how African Americans would vote. I don't think they're going to turn out for all. If they do, if they do, I think they will vote for a third-party candidate or write in someone's name. But really, I don't see African Americans turning out to vote for Leverett or Greene at all because none suits them. Both are pretty anti-Black Lives Matter. So let's get into this prediction. California, Washington would stay safe. A lot of these states will stay safe because a lot of Democrats will turn out to stop Marjorie Taylor Greene. Mostly white Democrats, though. A lot of white Democrats are going to turn out to vote against Marjorie Taylor Greene. So that means state like with a high African American population like Illinois becomes likely. D.C., Maryland, Northeast states that are sometimes likely, like Delaware, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Maine's first. I really don't see Denver Leverett suiting them that much. But thinking again with Marjorie Taylor Greene, I think with like a state like Connecticut would become safe, saying that they don't have a very high African American population, along with Maine's first. So I just made a couple changes there. Moving on to safe green states are the ones that I am putting right here. Nebraska's first would probably be likely, I would say, and Kansas would also be likely, probably, because those are two, like they're Republican states, but not as Republican as like Wyoming, Idaho, and Utah, and the Dakotas, right? Indiana's going to be very close, but, they do have some African American population, not a significant portion, but they do have some, and Leverett is extremely popular in his home state of Indiana, but I think without the African American population, in my previous prediction, I did give Indiana to him, so I will again, because a lot of white Democrats will turn out for him to stop Marjorie Taylor Greene. Plus, he has a lot of support from Republicans and independents because he is just that popular in his home state that I do think that he would do well here. Maine at large would probably be likely for him. Virginia would be likely just because Marjorie Taylor Greene would be so hated by these establishment Democrats down here, but really a state like Texas with a high minority population not turning out for Denver Leverett would be likely, along with states like Florida, which are lean, her home state of Georgia, which would be lean. South Carolina becomes safe. North Carolina becomes lean. We do have to remember that African Americans will not turn out for Denver Leverett. Maine second, I don't see either candidate doing that well here, but I think with the low African American population, Democrats will turn out enough to make it tilt Leverett. I think that Leverett would narrowly carry the state. And also New Hampshire, not a high minority population, that would also probably be lean Democrat, along with the state of Oregon. That's going to be likely, but Marjorie Taylor Greene will win in the state of Alaska by a likely margin. Moving on to Iowa, Denver Leverett really has this Midwestern appeal. A Rust Belt appeal, and that's going to help him significantly. But a state like Minnesota, the thing is, they kind of contradicts each other. Black Lives Matter protests is going to make people hate Leverett here. Black Lives Matter is extremely popular in the state of Minnesota. Remember, this is where George Floyd was killed. But we also have to remember that white Democrats will not turn out to stop Marjorie Taylor Greene. So therefore, Denver Leverett will carry the state of Minnesota by a lean margin. And Denver Leverett does have this Midwestern appeal. Is it enough to carry states like Iowa and Ohio? I think it's enough. Probably. Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene might have enough appeal. We do have to remember that she is backed gosh, it's hard. I'm going to give Iowa to her, but I think that Denver Leverett would narrowly carry the state of Ohio. I think that this would be a very close state, but I think that Leverett would pull out a win solely because he has a Rust Belt appeal and he will turn out Democrats, Republicans, and Independents alike. Wisconsin would go to him because Democrats will turn out. That's going to be lean. Pennsylvania will go to him because Democrats will turn out. Michigan is a bit tough, and African Americans here, really, they have they make up much of the population in the state of Michigan, but they're not going to turn out for Greene or Leverett, so really it depends on white voters, and there's more white, these white voters. They are probably going to tend to go towards Denver Leverett, even with Biden unpopular. Marjorie Taylor Greene is just too radical for them, so I will give Michigan tilt Leverett. Nevada has a high minority population, like very high. It's very diverse here, so that will probably be tilt Greene, along with Arizona. But New Mexico and Colorado, I just feel that these are two states that are too Democratic to go to Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is such a radical. So New Mexico, I'm just going to change New Mexico. New Mexico, tilt Leverett, and Colorado lean Leverett. What we have to remember in these states is that without that minority population, the Democrats are at a huge disadvantage. They really need the minority vote to win the presidency, the Democratic Party, right? So without it, a lot of Republicans won't turn out for Marjorie Taylor Greene, but ultimately, I think that she will be fine off. Well, not like totally fine, but I think that she will lose less Republicans than Leverett will lose less minorities, which means less Democrats. And then I see Leverett carrying Nebraska second by a lean margin. So this is my final map. It's extremely interesting to look at, where Indiana becomes tilt, Ohio becomes tilt, Maine second becomes tilt, all three tilt Dem. And then Marjorie Taylor Greene wins a state like Nevada, So really that's very interesting to see in my opinion. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing and commenting political chatterbag. Only if you're early to the video, though. If you're like 48 hours late, no, don't comment, please. So, yeah, I'll see you all next time.